Happy 5th of July, YouTube. We're back. Happy 4th of July, belated. We are now going to do some new drafts on Underdog. We have the Dash Hound, 4 entry max, 30k to first, $8 entries, and 25 entry max Chihuahua, whatever one you say, 30k to first as well. $4 entry, so 100 to max, 32 to max. The Dash Hound, a 2 out of 12, 1, 9, 1, 6, 217 final for the Chihuahua. The Dash Hound is 2, 12, 1, 5, 1, 6, so a little bit more appealing, in my opinion, to play the Dash Hound, and only 4 entries max. So we're actually going to jump into a Dash Hound. Ideally going to do 2 Dash Hound drafts tonight. Do they have 20 seconds or 30s? All right, so they're 30 seconds or 20 seconds, so let's jump right into this. Confirm. Should fill pretty quick. Let's update ourselves on some news. The only news on Underdog though right now, leading candidate for wide receiver 4 job, Devontae Walker, and then Calvin Austin leading for the wide receiver 2 spot, which I kind of figured, given Roman Wilson didn't play last year, earn it kind of guy he could end up being. The 2 later in the year, but to start at Calvin Austin, he kind of emerged last year a little bit. But don't forget, there's also Johnny there, Pat Freiermuth. Darnell Washington's not much target competition, but you have to think that they're going to play a lot of 12 and 13 personnel, so 2 and 3 tight end sets, which means there's only 1 or 2 wide receivers on the field at a time. So when they're in the jumbos with 13 and they're running just DK out there, Calvin Austin's not going to be there. And then I would assume Austin would be out there in 2 wide receiver sets. Would be ideal. We just made our pick in the Schnauzer slow draft that we were doing as well. This is our team so far. We'll show that real quick. It's Hurts, Herbert, Chase Brown, Mixon, James Conner, Brian Robinson Jr., then Lamb, Brown, Reed, Harris, Leggett, Johnston. So the double with Chargers, the skinny with AJ Brown, the Eagles. Had to sneeze, sorry chat. Josh Palmer to go opposite of the Eagles in week 17. And then we got Njoku, Gesicki at tight end. So far, I need 1 more running back, 1 more receiver, and 1 more tight end, ideally for that team. Dash Hound is starting here. We get pick 5. I need water. This is bad. Yeah, so we're out of water. Not ideal. Pick 5. JJ goes at 2. This seems pretty standard again so far. Barkley, Bijan, we're up. Let's continue taking Lamb, I guess. Still one of my favorite picks on the board, in my opinion. CMC kind of settling in around that 8 spot. We're at 9% for a lot of these early guys. We do only have 1 share of Jefferson, no shares of Jamar Chase, because we haven't even, I think we've gotten the 1, but maybe we took Barkley, but that was only 1 time. So as for Gibbs, Bijan, everyone else, we're all pretty flat on the round 1 guys, besides Genty, I'd say. And then probably a little overweight Nico. Not by much, though. Oh, underweight BTJ. Overweight Neighbors. Probably underweight Amon Ra as well. But pretty standard draft. Achan going at 11 is a little unconventional. CMC falling in this one. So I guess not standard right now. Goes Achan at 11. I mean, I get wanting your guy. You probably could have got him on the way back. His ADP is 15. His ADP's been climbing a little bit though, settling in now like early second, where it was sometimes slipping to mid second. HM Bucky starts, so flips the board a little bit. McCaffrey falls to 15, so I don't know how many teams in this contest are going to end up with a Nico and CMC team. Probably not too many is my guess. That's an insane and Genty insane drop there. I really need to stop taking Drake London, but London's still currently my most drafted player. London does go, so we'll just take Rice. Between Bowers and Rice. One thing I should note too, this contest is probably gonna fill pretty quick, so the Dash Hound is already almost 30% full. By the time the weekend ends, I'd imagine 50% full. So not a lot of time for ADPs to change in this. Bowers falling all the way to the Jamar Chase team. That guy's probably got this locked up, or the Nico Collins CMC team. This is an absolutely crazy room right now. Chase, Bowers, Jacobs. Another team that's probably never going to happen. The one thing of note, too, we're on the board, hold on. We'll go McBride. No, one thing to mention though is that team will probably never happen. Nico and CMC probably never gonna happen. But I was gonna say, as you note, there's only 2 drafters with badges in here that mark like quote unquote veteran drafters, people that put in a lot of money for this basically, that are experienced, you could say. The rest no badges, so a little bit easier. This is around the time where guys will start, and girls will start flowing into drafts as we move towards the season, get closer, especially in August. But the boards get a little crazy, unpredictable, as you can see. Alrighty. Mike Evans falls. Nico Collins, CMC, Lamar, Evans is a crazy start. Crazy start. All these running backs going here just let for some crazy value to happen. Like JT goes later usually. Puka Genti is another one that like you're not going to see that a lot. Puka Genti, Baris, DJ Moore. You'll see Brees and DJ Moore with Puka, but the Genti. Jeez, that's insane. CD London would have been sick as well. We'll go Devonta. See if we can't get Jalen on the way back. Definitely a running back heavy room. Well, at least early it was. Not sure how much Devonta Smith I have. I got a decent amount of him. Hoping Jalen Hurts falls here. RJ Harvey, definitely an RB room. Good God. Harvey off at 50. Jalen Hurts off at 51. Oh my God, dude. To the Barkley team. All right. Let's go Kenneth Walker. Especially with the amount of running backs going. Although Hampton does fall considerably in this draft. I need to refrain myself from taking Pickens so much. Got Pickens at 18%. CD at 9, but that's going to go up after this draft. I don't have a ton of McBride. Got a ton of Devonta Smith. Well, we could set ourselves up for, let's see, try to get Mahomes at like 92 maybe. That's actually probably not going to happen. The worthy team's right here, so we'd have to reach. I don't want to reach on Mahomes. We didn't get Hurts. We have a chance at Dak, which I still want more Dak. Doomsday Ghost, we lose that value. Godwin's on the board. Let's go Caleb Johnson. Connor off at 70. Decent value there. I feel like I have so much like I have so many running backs from this part of the board. I haven't taken a ton of Caleb Johnson. We can see if we get like Judkins on the way back. This guy gets the Burrow stack. The most unique thing about his team is the Bowers chase. Otherwise, not. And the Godwin, I guess, falling there, but not super unique with Burrow, Sutton, Waddle. Chase, I've seen that. So the other guys could be big difference makers for them. All right, we're gonna go Judkins and pair him up with Caleb Johnson for the Week 17 matchup. And let me go ahead and pull up that. Where's that photo at? The Week 17 matchup screenshot that we have. Let's see. Dallas plays. I know Dallas plays Washington. Can't see that though. Cleveland plays Pittsburgh. Seattle plays Carolina. And the Rams in Week 16. Philly plays Buffalo. Pretty sure Arizona has Cincy. Montgomery falls all the way to 79. A lot of CLV going around. Oh, 3-3-1 start. We didn't get our Hurts. Mahomes is still there, so chance of Mahomes with Rice. If he falls to 92, we will definitely be snagging Patrick. Also a shot at Kyler. No, Kyler. Who the hell took Kyler? Kyler won at 74? What's his damn ADP nowadays? 95? He goes to the Marv team. I guess, I mean, you suspect he doesn't get him back because of me. So reasonable take, I guess, if you really want to stack. It makes sense in that respect. Again, Kansas City plays Denver, so we'll go Mahomes if he does make it to us here. Aaron Jones, a huge faller. But we'll just take Patrick. Not underweight Mahomes. I have a ton of Patrick Mahomes, but we're just going to continue to eat it up. Definitely need some Denver pieces. Still could grab Bo Nix as well. Just double tap quarterback in this range. I don't have a ton of Bo Nix. And it doesn't spark the greatest matchup. Maybe go Jaden Higgins. We do need receivers here. Go Higgins. Sets up CJ Stroud later. Texans play the Chargers. And the Chargers play Dallas and Kansas City. So we can get some Charger pieces. That sets up well as well. Pretty sure Trey Harris is already gone though. Yeah, Trey Harris went at 95. But we could look for QJ or that's about it actually. If we did want to go Chargers route, Najee's on the board as well. And the Chargers play Kansas City, Dallas, and Houston, so all correlation for us. I mean, if for some miraculous reason the Bo Nix makes it back to us, it's 100% who we're snagging. I guess people are just thinking they want to stack Bo Nix. And it makes sense and Evan Ingram's off the board, but I think I'm gonna take Bo Nix. Yeah, I'm taking Bo Nix. We'll set up Bo Nix Denver week 17. We get tremendous value on Bo Nix. This drafter's pissed because he has Evan Ingram, thought he was gonna get him. No, suck it. Same with the guy won with Sutton, suck it. Tremendous value on Bo Nix, and it sets up our week 17 matchup. And still in line for Marvin Mims if we want to take him at 125. Pat Bryant goes at 119. His ADP is 161 to pair up with the RJ Harvey team. I guess he's upset I took Bo Nix or something. I don't know. We can unclick Justin Herbert and CJ Stroud. 2-3-4-1 build. We started out Lamb, Rice, McBride, Smith. Triple tap running back, 2 of which are rookies. We need receivers. I don't like to reach on Mims, but this probably calls for it. Where we're at. Okay, so now we get Rice, Mahomes, Mims, Bo Nix stacked for week 17. So we'll take that. Feel comfortable quarterback. I know I keep taking so much of like 2 quarterback builds, but I think that's just the route we continue to take. Baker, Dak, Jared Goff, all off in succession to Riz Nation, who hasn't taken a receiver since round 6. But his receiver room is London, JSN, Pickens, Adunze, all of which were really good value. But I'm not sure what... Oh, he goes Gibbs with Goff, Dak with Pickens. And Dak almost made it back to us, so. And then Baker with unstacked Baker. Cheeky little guy. He goes Baker first, unstacked. Coming back around, massive value in David Njoku right here. I have so much David Njoku, I'm swimming in it. We'll just take Javonte with the value pick because we have CD. Two, 4, 5, 1 build. Jake Ferguson goes. That's someone that we could have taken there as well. Receivers are just absolutely gobbled off the board. We're just in that range where there's no receivers, really. We can go Kincaid or Kraft here. Trey Benson off. Kraft goes. Let's go Kincaid. Buffalo does play Cleveland in week 16 and Philadelphia in week 17. So Devonta Smith. And then our Judkins as well. Maybe John continues to fall. I don't know if he'll fall all the way back around to 164, but you never know. We could have taken John over Kincaid there, to be honest. I think it's more so like who wants to be the one that, you know, breaks the Johnu fall every time in these drafts. And this is really my first time drafting since he's, you know, the news has come out of the trade. Damn, I really need water, but I don't want to leave. It's actually the perfect time to leave was this side of the board too. Johnny continues to fall, so you're saying there's a chance. Exactly what I'm saying. There's a chance. I don't know if we want to just keep tapping tight end there, but I mean, we have McBride. I don't think we actually need another tight end. Probably took Kincaid a little early. Wish we could have waited on Johnny there, actually. We could double down on Jaden Blue and Javonte. I like me some Romeo Dobbs. I do have a lot of Dobbs. A lot of Algier. Let's continue going Romeo, though. I think he's a good pick at ADP. So getting him, I know we're in the range where like ADP is not even like something you should be looking at for the most part, but I do think he still has some role in the offense and then upside if traded. Johnny falls to 166. Good snag there. Wish we didn't take Kincaid. We go off of 151 is insane. Shipley off of 162. We're probably gonna need running back production. I'm fine doubling down with Miles Sanders and Javonte on this team. Potentially. Cam Ward off. Let's go Roshan. Need a running back. I've taken a ton of Roshan Johnson. Chicago does play Cleveland and Green Bay. I think Michael Wilson's a good pick here. Probably would have been the pick before. Michael Wilson has risen in ADP too. Risen. Newell wouldn't be bad. Braylon Allen off. I still don't feel like horrible about picking Keenan Allen. A Rich goes, Noel goes. We're gonna go Michael Wilson since we have McBride. Let's bet on the passing game there. 2572 build could sneak in like not really. Can't sneak anything in really. Quarterback wise. So I mean we're open and free to do whatever we want really here. If Miles Sanders falls, cool. If not, maybe we go Justice Hill. They play Green Bay in week 17. Could double with the Dontavian Wicks. And or Keaton Mitchell. I don't really like Troy Franklin. I do like Jalen Tolbert. Let's rip some Justice Hill. And then between one of these three receivers, again, only going 2 tight ends because we go elite tight end with McBride. Only going 2 quarterbacks because I believe Mahomes and Knicks have the ceilings plus enough rushing upside to keep us afloat with 2. Obviously, if they get injured, crap. But I like spending more draft capital on other positions. So far, we're at a 2-6-7-2 build. Mahomes, Knicks, Walker, Caleb Johnson, Judkins, Javonte Williams, Roshan Johnson, Justice Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Rasheed Rice, Devonta Smith, Jaden Higgins, Marvin Mims, Romeo Doubs, Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, and Dalton Kincaid. Obviously, hindsight, we shouldn't have gone Kincaid. But we also didn't know Jonnu was going to fall to 166. We would have ended up taking Jonnu there over Kincaid. Hindsight, even though Jonnu was 10 picks past his falling ADP. Almost every team, I think we're the only team that didn't take a running back through the first 4 rounds, by the way. Every team had at least 1 through 4. And then 1, 2, 3. Only 3 had 2 through 4. I just like these middle rounds for running backs. So it's so abundant. All right, we're down to Wicks or Tolbert. Tutu goes. I think I'm gonna get Tolbert. So 2-6-8-2 build. We pair CD with Tolbert. Tons of week 17 correlation on this team, like tidbits, but also just playoff weeks in general, like bouncing off each other. With Arizona, they play Houston in week 15. Buffalo plays Philly and Devonta Smith. Obviously, we have Kincaid there. They also play Cleveland with Judkins. Cleveland plays Pittsburgh and Buffalo that we just talked about. Denver plays Kansas City is like the main stack there with our Mims, Bo Nix, Rashee Rice, and Mahomes. They also play, Denver does play Green Bay as well. A little bit of Dobbs action. It's a decent correlation for week 17. Some good reasonings behind our picks. And then also get a guy that doesn't get drafted all the time in Jalen Tolbert to kind of get a little weird. Let's go ahead and hop into one more of these bad boys. Let me grab a water too, 1 sec. I'll be right back. We're almost there. We're almost full chat. In the meantime, gonna use the bathroom too while we're waiting. Slowly filling. Slowly but surely. I swear we just filled that lobby pretty fast last time. Well, while we're waiting too, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. Leave a comment down below as well. Any questions you have for fantasy or whatever else you guys want to talk about, but mainly fantasy, let us know down below. We'll answer anything and everything for you guys to the best of our ability, obviously. Fantasy football, a lot of luck in this. Very opinion and bias based game we play, but fun nonetheless. And also, if you guys want to draft on Underdog and don't know how to draft on Underdog, link in the description, code TEMPTATION, TEMPTATIIUN, for a deposit match up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Go ahead, get freaky with it. Helps us out a little bit, helps you out a little bit, and then you guys can get your own code. Looks like we're almost full. 4 more people. This would be a great time for someone in chat to join. Appreciate everyone for watching. Let's have ourselves a draft. Don't know what kind of strategy what we want to apply to this. I feel like I can't get out of the. My problem seems to be. I think my ideal draft on Underdog, and I can't speak for the other platforms because I don't have drafters in my state, and DraftKings I don't play on because those lobbies are just a cesspool. But I would say building a balanced team might be my favorite method of drafting. Just going like RB receiver. So especially where we're at now in the 10, RB receiver is just, it's so much easier to build back there. A lot more options. Not getting any receivers in the first 2 rounds is pretty tough in my opinion, just because of what comes around later in the draft in terms of RB versus wide receiver scarcity. It's definitely possible, but it's tough. So, like in this draft, I think I want to kind of roll with. Well, hopefully we can get some crazy value like last draft, but I also want to roll with a balanced build, probably a 3 quarterback build. The only thing being on this side of the draft too is like typically we get stuck having to reach for quarterback over here, or you get boxed out when you don't go early. So that's why it kind of behooves you to take an elite on this side so you're not getting boxed out. Because the other drafters can just really push the emphasis on a certain position and it just leaves the ends hanging for sure. But I do think it's a good spot to draft. And I want to say the 10 is where I've drafted the most amount of teams this year. We're only at 30 something drafts, but this back half is definitely where we've picked a lot of teams from. A little bit more experience. Got 5 badges in here, so probably not as quirky of a draft. This one starts out the exact same way. I think Barkley, BJ were flipped last draft. Exact same way. We were at 5 last time though. We went CD. The reason you won't see Chase getting flipped too much either is because you don't get the 1 spot a lot when you're drafting. So if you're never getting the 1, and when you do, you don't take Chase, you're just going to have 0% of Chase, and that's not something that you want. So when you do get the 1 spot, unless you're rolling heavy on 1s this year, luck-wise, you don't really want to fall off of Chase there. And we're about to be up on the board here. 20-second pick clock. We're pretty light Genty, but I say we go Amon-Ra. We're also light Amon-Ra. And Detroit plays Minnesota. Who else do they play? The Rams of Pittsburgh. Let's go Amon-Ra, AJ Brown. Mix it up a little bit. We also don't have a ton of AJ Brown, but whenever he has a good year, he freaks out. He has a big year whenever he does. And I know we said we were going to try to go something even or like balanced build. Didn't happen. We go Amon-Ra, AJ Brown. The 2 Browns. St. Brown, AJ Brown. Could have flipped it a little more. And could have went someone like Bucky. They play Miami week 17. Yeah, so not getting as much value as last draft. This one went a little bit more according to ADP. Genty falls slightly because we take Amon Ra, but this one a little more uniform. Tyreek is jumping to the second round now. He was routinely falling 29 to 30. He goes off at 21 this draft. Didn't get a chance to see what he went last draft. But since that Johnny trade, yep, people pulling him up. Leaving Taylor to fall. Chase Jacobs, Chase Brown, Jefferson, Taylor Higgins. Not a unique combo. But again, remember, this just opened, so like, you know, sure, a lot of teams have some of these combos, but got to get a little different in these. Like I said, ADPs aren't going to move much, and this is going to end relatively quickly, just being dropped on a holiday weekend. So ADPs won't have a chance to move a ton, which means you definitely need to change your drafting up a little bit. McBride falls to 30 this draft, fell to 29 does last draft. Because Allen goes at 28. Devontae goes early. I didn't even see McLaurin goes at 27. Is he going to hope to get Jaden? Is that his play? Potentially. We've slowed down on drafting Jaden just a little bit. We're on the clock. Let's take Brees right at ADP. Not unique. I know we're talking about uniqueness here and just not abiding by it, but I wanted something more balanced here. Leaves us open for a Fields build. I don't think we have a ton of Brees. Never mind, we have a ton of Brees. I do have a slight fade on Kyron this year. We'll go DK. We'll DK up. I don't want to take Rodgers, but leaves us open for Rodgers as a quarterback. Doubt Jalen falls to 58. He's probably going to go to the Devontae Smith drafter. So we're more like at a Goff, Aaron Rodgers build. Ew. I don't like it. Hampton off at 42. Hampton went at like what? 52 last time. So again, the disparity in these drafts really shows. The more you draft and the more knowledge and builds you see. So far, we are through 4 rounds. Have 3 receivers, 1 running back. That's Breece Hall. And like I said, I'm not bullish on Breece necessarily, but right here in this area, it's like I've taken a ton of, since I drafted in this area, I've taken so much of the players back here. I don't have a ton of Ted. I have a ton of Mike Evans on this side of the board. Ton of Breece. Slight fade on Kyron this year. Just being an undersized back and the workload he gets, and then them drafting 2 running backs back-to-back years with decent draft capital is somewhat concerning. And obviously having Devontae. I don't know how much they beefed their lineup either, so. Jameson falls all the way to 50. Pickens off at 48. And sometimes the problem, Jalen off at 54, we almost got him. He didn't go to the Devonta Smith drafter, which is kind of weird. one thing about trying to reach on some of these guys though is they can fall back to you at 58 here. So like, I've seen Pickens fall down this side of the board. No reason to draft Burrow, Hunter off. We have a ton of all these guys. Let's just go Olave. Jennings off at 59. Could go Harvey, could go Travion. We'll go RJ Harvey there. Kind of right at ADP since he's been falling down boards. Do set ourselves up for a little Tyler Shuck action as well. So 0240 build, Brees, Harvey, Amon-Ra, and AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, Chris Olave. So feel good about the receivers for sure. Bro should slide back to the Higgins team per usual, unless someone snipes him, which does happen. We're back at like 82. We could go Aaron Jones, Minnesota plays. Yeah, we could have went Addison. Who the Jets play? They play New England. That's where we could have went Travion, I guess. Jets also play New Orleans. Decent pick there. Again, sets us up for Fields. But I don't think we get Fields on the way back. It's possible, but he goes at 100 a lot. Again, that's the problem with pulling some of these guys to the other side of the board. I do like Hawkinson for us. Gives us outs to JJ. I do like Aaron Jones too. If we could get both, that would be ideal. I don't know if we do get both. We don't. Aaron Jones goes. Laporta goes. Okay, I want to take TJ Hawkinson. Shakir goes. Downs goes. Just pull up Mason too for the Detroit game. So now we have an 0341 build. Hall, Harvey, Mason. St. Brown, AJ Brown, Metcalf, and Olave with Hawkinson. I don't have a ton of JJ. Don't have a ton of Jordan Mason. Don't have a ton of Hawkinson. And then Jordan Mason's usually going on this side of the board. So we pull him to this side. Potentially leaving some value for other drafters, but so be it. And I get the negative sides of Jordan Mason. Like Aaron Jones is in front of him. They don't go far apart in ADP, but Jordan Mason is a good pure runner. Can hit home runs as a pure runner. Taking him as my RB3 doesn't feel horrible. With contingent upside that he owns the backfield there. Obviously doesn't catch a ton of passes. Can, but that we won't usually, you know? So that could be Aaron Jones' play there. Maybe Mason ends up being the goal line back more. Although I don't know what Aaron Jones' success rate was in the red zone, so. See, he feels off the board over here. So, doesn't even leave us that opportunity. If Bo Nix fell, we could link him with Harvey if we wanted as well. To backstack that. Who did I say New Orleans plays? They play Tennessee. Oh, got nobody from Tennessee. The Jets play New England, New Orleans. I've seen Baker falling quite a lot in just any draft. Nix continues to fall. We're gonna take Bo again. I don't have a ton of Bo Nix. Actually, for this contest, I don't want to do that because I want to differentiate here. So. Let's double Shaheed and Olave. Crazy, I know, but whatever. Purdy off. We should be able to get Jared Goff. ETN goes. I think we did have a play there. No, we didn't. Taking Goff over Bo Nix seems kind of gross to me. Okay, Bo Nix goes, so never mind. All right, we're just going to take Jared Goff so we don't get boxed out of quarterback and end up having to be like Aaron Rodgers, Tyler Shuck strictly. As much as I do like going like Ramondre there. 1-3-5-1 build. We finally take quarterback in round 10. We pull Jared Goff up the board. Feels kind of gross, but the Jameson drafter is all the way over here. They do have Burrow Mahomes, so maybe they wouldn't have gone Jared Goff. And we could have sat on quarterback potentially and went. I don't even know we go there, to be honest. It's not like I like much around that area. We could have pulled Drake May, who personally, like, I think does have a higher ceiling. We get Jared Goff as the RB or QB 1, 2, 3. QB 13, so I mean, maybe the run game's not as good this year, and they do throw some more, even though Goff did have quite a year last year. What were his stats last year? I think they're his best stats of his career. I mean, yeah, 37 passing touchdowns, 4,600 yards. Like, definitely by far the best year of his career, and he loses OC. Kind of tough, to be honest. I mean, I guess we're looking at it like, where is he, you know, where does he traditionally fall? In points per game last year, he was number 8. Points per game the year before, he was 15. The year before that, 16. So we're drafting him quite high. The year before that, he was 25. So pretty gross, but whatever. That's why we're going 3 quarterback meta, baby. Hopefully McCarthy makes it here. I don't know where Addison went. Where is the Addison drafter? Addison drafters after us. They go Brock Purdy, Bo Nix, double tap. Herbert off. Okay, we'll tap McCarthy. Locks us in for McCarthy Hawkinson stack with Goff and Amon Ra in week 16 or 17. Pretty cool, pretty tight. Usually goes at 125, which would be right where Goff goes at like 116, 17. So Stroud off the board. Do we continue our run on Ray Davis? We'll go Hollywood. I have a bunch of Ray Davis. Again, for this tournament though, like I want to be a little different. Oh, I forgot we have Mason with McCarthy. But yeah, I want to be a little bit different when it comes to these builds. With being a 4 entry max, like it's okay to get a little weird for sure. So really being worried about my exposures in this doesn't concern me much. I'm just trying to not build the same exact teams that I've been building. Obviously, I sway and lean towards certain players, you know, as does everybody, especially in certain rounds. And it just depends where you're drafting, right? Like we consistently get the 10 spot, and I would say the back half of the draft. So that's why my ADPs are so high for a lot of these guys. We almost have to go Shuck because we do go Olave and Shaheed. See what the board is looking like. We go with we're at a what? 2-3-6-1 build. We're honestly pretty light at running back. Probably shouldn't have gone Hollywood. Just with the capital we spent on running backs, so probably should have went Garendo or Davis there. He already has 6 RBs. He has Jacobs, Brown, Caleb Johnson, Tyjae Spears, Ramondre, and Trey Benson. Tua, Dak. This team's pretty good. He does take Dak at 97. Who's New Orleans play again? They play Tennessee, New York Jets, Panthers. RBs are leaking off the board. Jake Ferguson goes. We're gonna go. We're gonna go Tank. Tank and hopefully Jalen Wright. We need running backs. Two, 5, 6, 1. Definitely needed that RB value. Not value, but just RBs in general. Right now it's Goff, McCarthy, Hall, Harvey, Mason, Bigsby, Wright. So a pretty young room. Mason only in his like second year, I think. Bigsby going into his third year, Wright going into his second year, Harvey rookie year, Brees into his fourth year, I want to say. McCarthy, technically rookie season in terms of playing. Receivers are pretty vet. Same with tight end. I feel strong about Hawk though, like leading the room as a later round guy. And obviously fits with our Detroit Minnesota game that we built. Michael Wilson off of 169 with pop. That's because he literally just pushed receiver off so long. Jack Besh finally off the board. Crazy faller. Okay, we're coming up soon. Not too sure what we want to do here. Thielen. Oh boy. Dowdle's an option for us. Go Mason Taylor. Do like him. We have a bet on the Jets offense already. Do we get Shuck on the way back? Problem is, if we don't get Shuck now, just grab him here. Just make sure. We never know. We do have the New Orleans pass catchers, but if he ended up wanting to go to the Kamara team here with the Daniels, never mind, he has Herbert and Bryce Young. We probably could have waited on Shuck. The thing is, you get boxed out of that last one. It's like, what do we even do here? You could take AR on a fly on a whim. Indy does play Jacksonville. Tank Bigsby. I don't know. Kind of gross. You know, maybe we don't reach for him on there. We try to big ball it, but just playing it safe to make sure we do get him. Not sure how many teams are gonna have Rashid Shaheed, Olave, and Tyler Shuck all together. The only thing is we built nothing for the Tennessee build, so like maybe Chig falls to us would be cool. Could go Lockett. Okay, never mind. Why did Tyler Lockett go to him? 2483. Gross. Why did he take Tyler Lockett? He needs running back. Bad. Pat Fryermuth? Buddy's down bad. Giddens. Who's left for like Tennessee, bro? We'll take Chig there. We have a ton of Chig, but whatever. We'll keep riding that train. We're the Rodgers team. All over here. Damn, do I take Calvin Austin? Now we have too much Calvin Austin. We need a receiver. Is what we damn need. Adnai maybe? Naylor maybe? Let's send it. Jalen Naylor. Hawkinson, Jalen Naylor, Jordan Mason, JJ McCarthy. We'll send that for probably didn't have to do that. But I mean, what else were we gonna do there? Strepo? Don't even know if he's gonna make the team. Could have went Amanor. I love taking Ray. But who's Atlanta play? Rams, Arizona, Tampa. We don't have anything for that. I really want to lock it, to be quite frank. Could have went 80 Mitchell as well. Oh well. We'll end it there. We go Detroit, Minnesota, New Orleans. Stacks. So doubled it New Orleans with damn, they leave. Yeah. Double New Orleans with Shaheed and Olave. Minnesota double stack with Jordan Mason as well, and then Naylor and Hawkinson, Goff, Amon-Ra, and then a couple bringbacks. Like the Detroit game is with the Minnesota game. The Jets are locked in with who was it? New Orleans in Week 16. So got some games lined up. Pretty good there. I'm not super stoked about the running back room. Pretty contingent, but could hit. We go kind of hero RB with Brees, with Amon-Ra, AJ Brown, Brees, DK, Olave in the first 5 rounds, and then Harvey and Mason to round out 8 rounds. So I don't know, pretty interesting draft there. Let's take a look now what our exposures look like. Hopefully this loads. Boom. Most drafted is Chig. Got a ton of these 17 percenters. Let's look at quarterbacks. Mahomes is most, followed by Jaden and Dak, which I don't mind these being my 3 most drafted guys. Brees, Roshan, Rashad White, most drafted running backs, followed by Ray Davis and a ton of 14 percenters. It's looking like my least percent drafted. Aaron Jones and Marion Hampton. Then just like a lot of DeAndre Swift, Pollard. I don't really have a stance on the rookies. Not really appealing. Not a lot of Bucky. Probably not good fade. Caleb. Now not a ton of Bijan, but obviously you have to be in a spot to get him, like top 4 now. Not a lot of JT either. So definitely some guys in here I don't want to be fading, that I don't have a lot of. Same with receiver, probably. Like, I don't necessarily want to fade Garrett Wilson. I do think he could be good. Ricky, I'm not meaning to fade. Or Jameson. I want more Jameson. Obviously not by choice, not having a lot of Jefferson. Would like a little more AJ Brown. Most drafted receivers: London, Shakir, Pickens, Shaheed, Slayton. Shaheed was one of my most drafted last year. He went around the same price, I want to say, receiver wise. Obviously with a better quarterback situation on paper. But yeah, he was such a smash for me at the beginning of the year. But let's see. And then tight end, actually, who was at 14%? A ton of people at 14. Evans, McConkey, Dobbs, Tillman. Okay. And then Chig, most drafted tight end, followed by Strange, Jawan, ton of 14 percenters. Guys that I want more of that I don't have. Probably Hawk would be the main guy. And likely, then we're kind of just chilling. But yeah, I mean, that's the exposures. Those are the drafts. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We appreciate you guys for coming out and watching any of the streams. It's always a great time. We love drafting. But we're about to hit the sack, actually. It's time to go to bed soon. One other thing. Link in description for Underdog, by the way. But yeah, happy 4th weekend. We'll catch you guys either tomorrow, maybe. We'll see how full these contests get. Or sometime next week, hopefully like Monday or something. But yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend and evening tonight. And like I said, we'll catch you on the next show.